Well, well. Good morning, Shield Wall Nation, and welcome back to once again another daily reports. And let's just start. Well, we can only start, of course. If you go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and bell notification too. And let's get into this. So we got our COVID facts. For global cases, we got 18,727,238. Global deaths, we got 704,791. Global recoveries of 11,940,707. Now, U.S. cases, we got 4,918,770. U.S. deaths of 160,323. U.S. recoveries of 2,482,899. Now, we all know that those are false numbers because they like to pump up the numbers so they can get the money into their state for the state benefits of having COVID patients. So make sure you put on your paperwork that if you so happen to die in a car accident, you didn't die of COVID, because if you have COVID in your system, you will be a COVID death. Yes, I know. I'm appalled too. Okay, let's talk about the debates between Biden and Trump. There's been an increased interest among Democrats after this fall's debate schedule. One strategist encouraged that Biden campaign to demand Trump's release of his tax returns as a prerequisite for the debates. The New York Times ran an opinion piece calling the country to scrap the presidential debates because they're vestigial organs of political systems that no longer exist. Most recently, CNN political analyst Joe Lockhart warned the Biden campaign, whatever you do not debate Trump. So basically, as you've seen, I've mentioned this before in various different bits of information that came out, they are trying to avoid Biden to debate Trump. And why? Because Biden isn't mentally competent. And I'm not saying he's just stupid. He literally has a mental disease, and they don't care. They're putting him into the seat so then they can control him. That's exactly how it is. But they don't want him to debate Trump because then people will be like, because Trump really is. Even his rebuttals to some of Hillary Clinton's questioning and rhetoric. His rhetoric was kind of ridiculous as well, but he always had something to go against her. He was actually pretty quick-witted, but to go against Biden, Trump will absolutely destroy Biden, because Biden can't even with a prompt in front of him, he can't even read it coherently. And I mean, like, honestly, they should just drop out of the race, put someone else in last minute, just not him, for his sake, right? So they're trying to avoid this debate and to do a tax return as a prerequisite for the debate, while they should make some sort of mental health evaluation on Biden as a prerequisite for the debate. Okay, let's see. Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak signed a bill into law ensuring that every registered voter in the state would receive a mail-in ballot ahead of the November election. Trump vowed to challenge the law as an illegal late-night coup that would make it impossible for Republicans to win the states. He also accused Democrats of using the COVID to steal the states. So, like I said, from my understanding of mail-in ballots, they don't count unless needing to, I don't know, whatever. I don't know what's going on. Frankly, if we can go to Walmart and wear a mask, we can stand in lines there, we can do all those cool, fun things, I'm pretty sure we can wear a mask and go to the voting polls. Make it mandatory to wear a mask and gloves inside, so when you touch the prompter thing, your gloves are touching it. That's it. Because if gloves can, or masks can prevent the coronavirus, if I'm wearing a mask, someone else is wearing a mask, we're double protection, right? Whatever. Okay. It says, a recent Rasmussen poll showed that 62% of all voters believe it is the least somewhat likely that the far left will commit acts of political violence if Trump wins the election, a re-election. Only 32% believe conservatives will do the same if Biden wins the election. Both Republicans and independents believe violence is more likely if with the Trump victory, but 53% of Democrats think violence is likely regardless of who wins. So, I mean, we already see violence, right? With very, very far left groups. We already see the violence. Now, that's this 4 years after the debate, and they're already crying about things that have been proven wrong about Trump, right? Now imagine if he wins, how violent these already very violent people will get. A heck of a lot more looting, a lot more rioting, and maybe they'll even start killing people, like they killed a black gentleman holding a Trump sign. When is this stupidity going to stop? When is our elected officials going to actually do their job? From what I can see, majority of them are unfit for office. I mean, they should get out. That's just, once again, my opinion, and it's my opinion alone. So, let's talk a little bit about Antifa. It says, according to a leaked intelligence report, the Department of Homeland Security is conducting intelligence gathering on individuals affiliated with anti-fascist groups under the 2019 DHS Strategic Framework for the Counterterrorism and Targeted Violence. This leaked report was primarily focused on individuals who have traveled to Syria to fight alongside various groups, including the YPG, which is a Turkish defense unit, and who have come back to the United States to work with anti-fascist groups. At least one of these individuals fought with the PKK, a revolutionary socialist group. These individuals were associated with the far-left political ideologies, including anti-capitalism, communism, socialism, and anarchism. The report includes some information on one unnamed individual who had allegedly received marching orders from a foreign country upon leaving Syria. So we already know some of this has already happened, right? We already know that these people that came from Syria, in fact, quite a few came from Syria to train anti-fascists. Some even prior service military that came from Afghanistan, and our own military have then gone over to anti-fascists or the Brown Gun Club, and instructed people how to use firearms and tactics. So there's that, and they're training. And us patriots, we definitely need to start training to defend our family against these people that don't care about you. They care about their personal agenda, getting into their own power, saying, guess what, we ran a country for a few years, and getting completely obliterated, but guess what, they can still go down in history as owning the United States, right? Or maybe a portion of it. So, I digress. It's ridiculous. Okay. So, the prisoner Sean Swain delivered a recorded message to a recent episode North Carolina-based anarchist radio show, The Final Straw. Swan, who was sent to prison for murder of a court official in 1991, and was moved to isolation after taking part in the 2012 Army of the 12 Monkeys prison riots in Ohio's Mansfield Correctional Facility. Swan called the activists to get prepared for a lockup with no plans of bail or ever after being arrested for their activities. Swan claimed that they would enable those on the outside to carry out the next action, which ranged from some fire alarm pulling to political assassination. He also said that those arrested could then focus on tearing apart the system from within inside. This would be achieved through displacement such as taking up beds in the mosques, rioting, clogged toilets, faking medical injuries such as seizures. It says jailed activities would also bog down the court system and being radicalizing entire captive populations. Once jailed or in prison, Swain included that the anarchist movement needed to, in the wake of George Floyd, take this machine down. Sorry, my report started losing ink, so you got like all that jumble. So then I took a picture of it and had to, well, you can't see it, had to read off that little screen. So yeah, so that's why I was squinting. I was really close to it, but we see how all this craziness is coming down, and that's kind of all. This is kind of to these reports are kind of just to bring light to things that is going on around the world that you only see in the news a little bit, one side of part of the news, and you see this chaos going down. You're like, well, what's going on in Austin? Well, the Red Army, the Antifa Red Army, based out of Austin, right? So they want to cause mischief and mayhem and chaos down there. So there's all these things going on that I want to inform you guys about. So in case, bam, it happens, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I never saw this coming. At least you'd have seen it coming. At least maybe not seen that direct group. Let's call the leaf blower group or whatever come out, but you understand the fact that there's groups out there that are causing violence, right? So that's the whole point of this report, just kind of know what's going on your ride home from work, later in the day, right in the morning. Just kind of listen to something to kind of just get updated. This helps me get updated too, doing these things, because guess what? If I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be informed, right? So if I'm not informed, some of you guys aren't informed. And if you are informed, people that aren't informed, send them this video. Have them come over here, like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification, right? So, there's that. So, I hope all of you understand. And most of all, I hope you guys stay strong, stay resilient, shield wall up. Whoa, hey guys, did you even go down below and hit that like button? Or even that subscribe button? Well, do that now. Do that now. Hit it now, subscribe, share the video. Thank you very much, and goodbye.